Damn, son, it's Major League Rock. And she till I die, all these lollies call me. Rubbing on her thighs, she stay wet for her. Shawty so kawaii.
So about 2 weeks ago, a bunch of data miners got their hands on the files for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and got to see a bunch of unreleased or unfinished content. If you want to know what that is, the videos are up on the channel right now, and I'll put a link to the playlist in the description for you guys. But one thing that was talked about when all this was leaked was Garlic Jr. Just like all of the rest, people saw Garlic Jr. get mentioned and they automatically assumed we would get some sort of DLC concerning that character. Now, there was no mention on if the content would be based on the Dragon Ball Z Dead Zone movie or the Garlic Jr. saga, which was basically a filler arc in the original Dragon Ball Z. It wasn't in Dragon Ball Z Kai because, well, Kai pretty much removed 98% of the filler and changed a bunch of things like lines, characters said, voice actors, and a bunch of other stuff. I never really recognized Dragon Ball Z Kai anyway, since it's pretty much a bootleg version of Dragon Ball Z, but the Garlic Jr. saga is not a retelling of the Dead Zone movie in the same way that the first two arcs of Dragon Ball Super were retellings of the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F movies. The Garlic Jr. saga is actually meant to be a sequel to the Dead Zone movie, and actually is the only time in the entire Dragon Ball Z anime where the TV show recognizes the movies, if I'm not mistaken. Bardock, Tarble, and the history of Trunks are referenced in the show, but those weren't movies, those were TV specials, so it's not the same. So since the Garlic Jr. saga isn't a retelling but a sequel, I would have to say it would make much more sense for a Garlic Jr. DLC to be based off the Dead Zone movie. Then again, they could just give a short summary of the movie and skip right to the Garlic Jr. saga, since in the TV show they did just that. But even with all this speculation, there are many files in the game, and there are 10 DLC folders within these files. Now that doesn't mean we're going to get 10 DLCs, that just means there's 10 DLC folders, and some things are labeled as DLC just because they were added later in the game's development. But within these folders, there is no mention of Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. along with several other characters are part of dialogue or text found in other files that are not labeled as DLC. These files have things like descriptions of scenes or summaries of missions or story events. However, the very existence of these name drops could point to seeing them be DLC in the future. So it's not an automatic no to Garlic Jr. DLC, but knowing that it's part of a separate file just makes it uncertain at this point. Garlic Jr. may just be something they plan to add, but then they didn't go through with for whatever reason. Let me know what you guys think. My name's Konjik, and I'll talk to you in the next video.